Okay, so I'm gonna try something over the next month, and I don't know if I'm stupid, motivated, or crazy. But before I talk about that, seeing as I'm new to this platform, I might as well introduce myself. I'm Nate, I run for fun. Before you ask, no, I'm not a masochist, so that's out of the way. Because Trek's been canceled because of this whole coronavirus thing, I've decided to set myself a challenge for the next 30 days. What I'm gonna be doing is 100 push ups, 100 squats, 100 sit ups, and a 5 mile run every day for 30 days. I don't mean to sound controversial here, but I don't even think it's going to be that hard. I mean, I run every day. I already do push ups every day. The only two things I'm adding on are the sit ups and the squats. So, really, how hard can it be? Well, I guess the only thing left to do now is see how it goes. Well, you'll see how it goes. This is being recorded after the fact, so I already know how it went. How did it go? Well, I'd say the whole situation kind of played out like when you're confident for a math test, and when you're about to take the test, instead of remembering all the equations, your last two brain cells decide to stop vaccinating their kids. I'd say surprisingly, the hardest part was actually the running, which is weird because that's what I do the most. You see, I had been conditioned for spring track at the time, so that means I hadn't really run over 3 miles in about 4 months. I think one thing that really got to me was all the hills in my area. My neighborhood is in a place with a lot of hills, so it didn't matter which way I had to go, there were always hills. So you're running up a hill, you become short of breath, your calves start to ache from all the lactic acid buildup. And it's hard, obviously, because when you're going up the hill, you're working against gravity. Once you get to the top of the hill, you think gravity's going to give you an easy ride down, give you a break, maybe take you out to lunch. I heard there's this new Mexican place around the corner with some killer enchiladas. Nope, steals your wallet, breaks your ankles. I'm not kidding about the ankles, actually. The thing about going downhill is if you go too fast, it's going to put immense pressure on like your ankles and your shins. I finished a run one day and I couldn't feel my left foot because it had been asleep for the last mile of the run because that whole last mile was downhill. I have to say, besides the running, the hardest exercise was definitely the squats. It's not that it was physically difficult, it was just very, very, very hard to balance. I'm not a good balancer, so it took me probably about 3 days to actually be able to squat properly. Which I know sounds weird, because doing squats is kind of like boiling pasta. Sure, you're not born with the skills to do it, but it takes someone extraordinarily incompetent to mess it up. I eventually did figure it out after a few days, which is good because now if I ever go to prison, I won't have to worry when I drop the soap. I have a question. Do people just not care about coronavirus? I'll be running along the street, just minding my own business, and there will be people coming towards me. And like a reasonable person, I decide to cross the street. But why does nobody ever cross the street when I'm coming towards them? Can they not be bothered to just cross the street every once in a while? Do they think I'm just gonna part like the fucking Red Sea? Like, I'd understand if it were 50-50. I cross sometimes, other people cross sometimes. Looking back on the whole experience, I think I definitely underestimated how difficult it would be at the beginning, but as time went on, it really met my expectations for the difficulty level. It's one of those things that if you do it enough, it's just going to become second nature. If I were to change one thing about this, it would definitely to be doing these exercises at the same time every day. I was definitely super inconsistent. One day I would be running at 12, another day at 5. The most important thing about this is consistency, and if I'm not consistent with time, I'm not going to be consistent with how I feel. In the end, I think I reached my goal just to keep active, keep staying in shape. Despite what it may seem, I think I'm actually going to continue to do this indefinitely. It's really great for staying in shape, and I've been able to get it done faster and faster every day just because I keep getting more and more used to it. I want to challenge you guys to do this. If you have the time and the energy, I think it's a really great way just to stay in shape during this whole lockdown period. It's a really great way to improve yourself Speaking of which, I'm taking this time to work on and improve the quality of my YouTube videos, so if you could leave a like, maybe subscribe if you really do like the content, I would appreciate that a ton. So stay tuned for content like this, plus some.